Hi, I'm Allison Maddock, Chief Product Officer at CSI, a leading provider of innovative technology solutions to financial institutions and other organizations. And you're watching our third episode of Talking Tech with CSI. This season, we're tackling the most buzzworthy topics in tech, and today is no exception. I'm joined by Greg Almond, Senior Product Manager of Payments at CSI, to discuss his insight on instant payment technologies and their impact on the banking industry. Greg, welcome.
Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to be here.
I've noticed that real-time payments and the FedNow service are often used interchangeably when discussing modern payment strategies. Can you provide some clarity on these concepts and explain how they are connected?
Yeah, so I think to start, when you talk real-time payments, it's sort of been a catch-all for faster payments or real-time payments as a whole. And so right now what we're talking about here in the industry is we really have two real-time payments, or a real-time payment network from the clearinghouse, RTP, and a real-time payment network, or as we term it, instant payments from Fed and the FedNow. So really at this point, like we experience with other payment networks, we now have two payment networks that process payments in real time.
Wonderful. Well, instant payments are a growing priority among bankers in response to consumer demand, and the launch of the FedNow service has further intensified this demand. How has the implementation of this network reshaped the instant payments landscape?
So for me, I think it's really about reshaping it over time, right? And when we look at the launch of FedNow and the network, right, we're still sitting with bringing banks on as receive only here at CSI, other banks joining the network. But as far as reshaping the payments or the instant payments landscape, it's really going to start with P2P, right? P2P is the first natural use case, providing users an alternate rail or an alternate means to move those payments in real time. So as far as reshaping it, I've said for a while now, this has really been a marathon, not a sprint. Really a sprint to connect to the network, but as far as reshaping some of the things that we know, that's going to take time.
Sounds like we have lots to look forward to. And as payments innovation continues to advance, what are your predictions for the future of real-time payments, whether specific to the various phases of FedNow or otherwise?
So I think really, thinking about FedNow, it's really the payment network of the future, right? Doesn't mean that other payment networks are going to go away, but we'll be moving payments from networks like ACH or Wire, right? So I think first and foremost, it's real, right? And it's here. Secondly, I think the shift is going to take time, right? So this isn't something, as I just mentioned, that's going to happen overnight. Also with respect to that, universal directories, right? So when we look at FedNow and instant payments, it's account number and routing number based. And so universal directories over time will be used to sort of alias based, right? So you won't have to know somebody's account number and routing number. Also from that standpoint, government payments. When we look at what are some of the first payments that may start flowing through the network at volume, I think we're going to start seeing government payments. And so when we look at banks, they all have customers who are receiving government payments, right? Government benefit payments. And so they should be ready, right, to receive those. Lastly, for me, I think that it's request for payment, or RFP, right? I think that really has the ability to significantly change the way us as consumers pay bills in the future.
Well, it certainly seems like the future is bright for real-time payments. What steps should banks take to integrate these innovations into their existing payment systems?
So I think it starts with education, right? Whether you've been following along with instant payments or FedNow over the last couple years, right? It's really about education, understanding the network as a whole, understanding the use cases that can be offered as part of the network. So it starts there. Also talking with your service provider, your technology providers, right? What are they doing to further instant payments or FedNow? What type of service offerings are they offering, both on the receive side and on the send side? Also, you want to think about the strategy, right? Be strategic about instant payments. And so when we talk about it again, it's not about the strategy over the next 6 to 12 months. It's really about the long-term strategy. As I mentioned, this being a marathon and not a sprint, we really want to take time to understand what does this mean for you in the future, long-term, and how this is going to benefit not only your financial institution, but your customer base.
Well, Greg, it's been great talking tech with you today. Don't miss our fourth and final episode for Season 2 of Talking Tech with CSI, where we'll answer some of your questions about AI and cybersecurity.